Welcome to Right on the Money, the weekly talk show with interviews you can use to help you maximize your money and optimize your financial future. Before moving forward with any of the ideas discussed on the show, always consult your financial advisor, insurance professional, or tax consultant. Looking for financial help or a second opinion? We can help you in your search. And now, your host of Right on the Money, syndicated financial columnist and money color commentator, Steve Savant.
Well, welcome everyone to our money tips for the new year to help us get on track for 2016. And here to bring us up to speed is registered financial consultant and investment advisor, Ted Meyer. We're talking about the number one fear. And by the way, sometimes fear is false evidences appearing real. This is not a false evidence appearing real.
Absolutely
this is a warranted phobia that seniors have. Hey, I don't know if I'm going to outlive my money. Yeah. What happens if I run out? What if I live longer? What if I become Willard Scott, one of Willard Scott's 100
Right.
happy birthday on the Smucker's jar, you know?
Yep.
I mean, those are real, authentic fears. So we got to address these fears. And I say that for baby boomers especially, we have two or three compounding fears. One is we're going to be living a lot longer. There's one.
Yes.
So it's going to cause a problem.
Correct.
And longevity is a fear multiplier or a factor multiplier because it touches everything else. If we're going to live longer, we're going to need more money. If we're going to live longer, we have to have long-term care because the odds are high that we're going to have some kind of an event, morbidity event later on in our life. So there's issues here. So let's talk about that. How do you deal with your baby boomer clients that come into your office and you say, man, these guys have a fear here?
Yeah, first part is really identifying the fear. With the mortality tables that came out and with the fact that we are living longer. In the previous section, we talked about retirement being 5, 10, 12 years. Mm-hmm. Retirement now 20, 30 years for some folks. And so getting them to realize that they're going to be around when they're 85, 88, 90, 92, we really have to take a look at it and understand if I'm going to be around for another 20 to 30 years in retirement, are my retirement assets going to last me for the next 20 or 30 years?
I've noticed there was an article, I can't remember where it is, and I'll have to dig it out of the archives, but it actually said that people that have income coming in on a regular basis that they can depend on are some of the most happiest people during retirement, and their psychological profile is better.
Correct.
Because remember, we're always talking about, hey, can you take the risk in retirement? What kind of beta risk does your investments come and carry with, right? We're going to talk about that in the last segment.
Yep.
But that's why I'm talking about fear of retirement. Okay, so let's say I have it. Let's say
we've got a fear of retirement.
Let's say I have the fear of retirement because I think I'm going to run out of money.
Correct.
What's one of the first things I can do to try to mitigate that?
To mitigate the fear is find out where we can have guaranteed income sources coming from. The first thing that makes everyone in retirement, as you said from your letter or from the article, relax and have a little peace of mind is understanding how much money is coming in and how long it'll be coming in. So the first thing we want to do is we want to address or identify the sources of income that we have and then find out if it's going to make up what we need it to. We have expenses in retirement, typically not as much as they were when we were younger. As we get older, our expenses will drop a little bit. We won't be doing as much. But living longer has outpaced death as the number one fear because outliving our money. Nobody wants to be 85 or 90 and run out of money. So first thing we do is we take a look at the assets of the estate, find out how much money is there, how much money we have coming in on a guaranteed source. The second thing we look at is what are our expenses? Is there a way to manage our expenses going forward so that we can make sure that the income is coming in at a greater rate than what's going out?
Okay, so in fact, a lot of us have to think about this. You know, one of the things we talked about last week was carrying our mortgage into retirement. No generation has ever done this before. So the baby, we're the first ones that are doing this.
Yep.
We're trying to pay our parents' LTC costs. We're trying to take care of our kids, our own kids in tuition payments for college. And now we're sitting there with our own issues, right, in retirement.
Correct. Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking there's three little areas. You know, we talked about the red zone last segment. We're talking about there's three stages of most seniors. They call it, and I got this from our popular author, Tommy Hagna. Tommy says there's the go-go years, the so-so years, and the no-go years. And at the first, everybody's going around. You're taking trips. You're taking vacations. You're going all over the place. And because I say that, he said, why do you bring that up, Steve? Because everybody is accommodating their domestic spending, the spending that they're going to have to live on. But I say, you aren't incorporating normal travel to see kids, grandkids, vacations, and you need to get that in your foundation or you're building your floor retirement that's guaranteed.
Correct.
So to me, that's a big deal.
That's a big deal.
I want you to speak to one thing that I'm really concerned about on this whole segment of retirement. Okay, so let's say I got a guaranteed, but I don't know if inflation's going to go up or not. I have no idea. But I think my normal commodities, I think gas is going to be maybe a problem. Maybe I think food is going to be a problem. Stuff that doesn't even fall on the government CPI. I mean, I don't even know why that happens, right?
Right.
But let's just say I'm concerned about that. Is there any way to take a guaranteed product and get a little bit of step up and ratchet up my income?
Yeah, actually there is. Let's take a look at Social Security, then we'll take a look at some other guaranteed products. Social Security has a COLA rider that, unfortunately, in 2016, I don't think we're going to be getting one.
No, we're not.
And I think that's the third time in the last 5 years that's happened.
Yeah, and 4 overall. Think about this. Social Security used to that'd be an auto bump up, right?
And auto bump up used to be average between 2.5% and 3%. I think it was about 2.8%.
Can't depend on that anymore.
Can't depend on that. No. So we've had Social Security. Hopefully we'll get a COLA rider on that. We have our RMDs that we're taking out. If we're fortunate enough to have a pension, we may have that. Typically, the pensions don't come with COLA riders. There are other guaranteed products out there, though, that you can park a sum of money that can go in there, and you can structure income for the rest of your life and get a COLA rider on there. Have the increasing income that you desire for the rest of your life.
Okay, now we talked in our first segment, we talked about QLACs, qualified longevity annuity contracts that actually use deferred income annuities. So I could buy, if I knew I was going to buy income, a block of income, and I was going to use it immediately, I could look at a single premium immediate annuity with a COLA rider, right? If I'm hearing correctly.
Yep.
I was shocked to find this out. I was reading and I was looking at the entire block of SPIA, single premium immediate annuities, and DIA, deferred income annuities, and looking at how high up I could ratchet this. And you could get a step up to 6% a year annually.
Single year.
Now, think about this. I mean, that blows my mind.
Yes. Where else out there can you get a 6% guaranteed growth on your money every single year? This isn't the 80s and 90s anymore. We're in the new financial era here since the year 2000. And I think with the rates of return that people were expecting, we used to be able to run financial illustrations showing an 8% rate of return. Those are now down to 4, maybe even dropping down to 3. So you've got a product right now that can get you 4 to 6% guaranteed roll up on your money every year, increase in income. It's a slam dunk.
Yeah, when you think about it, and you're looking at, remember, when you're embedding guaranteed income, remember all the actual product expense loads, everything, they've already been accommodated for. So you get if your payout rate, and by the way, I just want to bring this up just so we're all straight on the compliance, your payout rate, which may be 6%, is not really your credited interest rate.
Correct.
And I want to make sure we all see this. Most of the people I hear on radio that talk about this or write about this always talk about the payout rate, and I'm saying yes, but that's not the rate of return. Correct. So I want to be able to look. If I'm getting 3, and some of these contracts can net about 3.25. I mean, all expenses done, finished.
Yes.
So I want to look at things that are really accommodating. And by the way, you can go out to certain sites that actually play to this, and you can look at everybody that's out there. And I cannot believe, even though we're all fishing out of the same government debenture pool, everybody's numbers are all over the board.
Yeah.
Because mortality credits are different.
Mortality credits are changing. You're going to see that happen in January. The table came out in the third quarter of last year. And this year, January, you're going to start seeing insurance companies reflect those changes, and the rates are going to start dropping a little bit.
Then they already started because we're living longer. And so things that used to be, you could get payout rates. I think you're going to see a definite, especially with a low interest rate environment like this, I think you're going to see a lot of these carriers, insurance carriers, bring it down a little bit because they really don't have guaranteed income. Their bond portfolio is just really sucking wind right now.
Correct.
Let's talk about one other thing. I want to talk about this because people always talk about, should I buy this? But should I buy this guaranteed income? I could buy it for myself. I could jointly purchase it.
Correct.
And I could use this inside my qualified plan if I wanted to.
Yes, you can.
So you need to look at all the avenues, which is the better deal. Right. Now, when I'm looking at creating a pension for myself, which is really what we're talking about guaranteed income you cannot live. So are you saying that if I become the Guinness Book of World Records, Jeanne Calment, who died at 122 years, 164 days, they'd pay that out?
They would pay that out for the rest of your life. And as you mentioned a second ago, if it was a joint life, it paid out for the rest of your life and your spouse's life.
We think about, I can't remember Ida's last name, but Ida was the first Social Security recipient.
Okay.
And she put in, I think, some like ridiculous number. I think she put in $25-$30. And then about a couple months later, when she started taking income, she pulled it down for 24
years.
For 24, whatever it was. It was really long. And that was great for her, right?
Right.
Now we're looking at 95, 100, maybe post 100.
Right.
This guaranteed income, especially if you put a COLA on it, this is going to go up every year and it's guaranteed for life.
Guaranteed for life. And it's a little different than, say, your 401k or your IRA that you've got right now, because once that bucket runs dry, there's no more income. On these guaranteed income products, once the money goes in there, that is guaranteed to pay out for the rest of your life and your spouse's if you so choose.
And remember, the psychological profile here is this is guaranteed. So if you
Is
say,
there
Steve,
any
I don't
other
have
type of income?
Not really. In fact, only insurance companies are doing this. So you got to look at this. And are all annuities good? No. But ones we cherry pick, we think are really good and they're client centric. I want you to remember what the good Reverend John Wesley once said: make all you can, give all you can, save all you can. I'm Steve Savant. We'll see you next week.
For more information on this week's money topics, just go to our website at www.rightonthemoneyshow.com and follow Steve's daily postings on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. When it comes to retirement, money management, small business, insurance coverage, college funding, or budgeting, we have the interviews you can use.